guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a Q&A for today's Tiger Tuesdays. A week or so ago I asked on my Instagram to send me questions, send me any questions you have, because I love watching Q&As and I feel like you can learn so much about a creator, and I love watching them, and I was like, I really want to do one. I was not expecting to get as many questions as I did, because the times where I've done like a little Q&A post in the past, I've gotten next to nothing for questions. And I actually got questions for once, like a lot, and I'm like, oh my gosh guys, you love me? So before we get into the questions, make sure you stay all the way to the end of the video, as there is going to be a character reveal for Bloodborne. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. So without further ado, let's get into all your questions that you guys asked. So these first couple of questions are asked by Denis on Instagram. Hi Vashti. So first he asked, what is my most expensive model? My most expensive model would probably be my Furano. I think I spent like $150. And then he also asked, is your passion for horses inherited? Yeah, my mom was also into horses, so she used to ride like a little bit, and then I got into riding, and now I'm taking a mental health break from riding. So yeah, it is kind of inherited, but I feel like out of everyone in the family, I am definitely the most horse obsessed person ever. And then he also asked, how did you get introduced to Briars? YouTube, Denis. YouTube. Model Horse YouTube, straight away. So these next few questions are from Sunspeak234. Love you, bestie. Love you the most. Go check out her channel. She just came back. And I love their videos, and they're such a good friend for me. So they asked my first model. My first model was Big Chucks of Cash and Gigi Valentine and Heartbreaker. And then favorite aspect of filming? Production. Production is my favorite part. Pre-production and post-production, I have a love-hate relationship with those stages, but actually like getting my models and filming is my favorite part. I love camera work, so I really like to play around and do all the fun stuff with that, and like setting up lights, and oh my god, it's the best. And then they also asked favorite tropes. Guys, enemies to lovers, top tier. Forbidden love, top tier. Hurt comfort trope, that is so sexy. Oh my god. Top tier. Yes. Yes. And then favorite color / mold of a horse. Dude, dapple grays. Anything dapple gray, I want. That is so sexy to me. And then OTB.studios asked Holy Grail, and right now my Holy Grail is Gold Raven and Ethereal Water. And then Snoopy is my horse. Megan asked, how many sex scenes? Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, why would Megan ask this question? That is a good question. So, Bloodborne will be for mature audiences. So there are a few sex scenes in the first season. They're not like super graphic or vulgar or anything like that. They're there to improve the storyline, to reveal more of like things with the characters, and they're very much placed where they are needed to be to move on with this, to move the story to its desired end goal. So that is what I'm going to be saying about that. You're not going to see a whole sex scene. No, you're going to see like, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not like visually planning things out for that yet, but I have like little notes of that. So Bloodborne will be for mature audiences. And I really hope I worded this correctly, because I don't want anyone to see Bloodborne as this huge like sexual series because it's not going to be. But it's like you have two characters and they start making out and then like, I don't know. But to answer your question, there are more than 5 sex scenes in the first season of Bloodborne. I guess that is all I will say for that. And then Megan also asked, what's the biggest inspiration for Bloodborne? That is so hard because I really had to think about this one for a hot second. My biggest inspiration, I think, would just be like music. Making a playlist for Bloodborne has been really helpful when it comes to writing, and also like all of my friends. So anyone I talk to about Bloodborne has been a really big inspiration and motivation for me to keep on going with this project. So these next few questions are from Alamos_model_horses on Instagram, and they asked, what's your least favorite mold versus your favorite mold? Guys, I'm so bad with knowing molds, but I don't like any of the jumping molds from Breyer. I like the strapless mold. I don't know if that's my favorite. And then they also asked, what's my least favorite model versus my favorite model? In terms of like my collection, I think my least favorite model that I have right now is the Irish Draft Horse. You know that big chunky mold? I don't like that mold. It's just huge. It's not fun to film with. And then my favorite model in my collection is probably my HP Battlefield Angel guy. And they also asked Peterstone or Breyer. Breyer, because Peterstone is so fucking expensive for no fucking reason. I'm sorry. So Hickory Run Stables asks, what is one thing you're most excited about doing at Breyerfest? Literally, I'm so excited to literally just hang out with my friends. That is all. I just want to see my friends, and I can't wait to see my friends again and meet the new faces, and I'm just looking forward to seeing them and hanging out with them. Because we just, talk all the time, and now we're like hanging out in person. Literally, I can't wait to see them all and hang with all, and like, I'm so excited to just hang out with everybody. And then they also asked, is there any projects we can expect from you for the future along with Bloodborne? Dude, great question. I do not have an answer for that. Okay, so the Wild Hunt X on Instagram, he asked these next couple of questions. So the first one is, since I'm just getting the hang of the hobby again, please tell me a little about your new project, Bloodborne. I'm interested in what you are up to. Thank you, Vashti. Welcome to the show. So glad you're here. So if you haven't seen my concept trailer already for Bloodborne, go ahead and watch that. I feel like that gives like some good, interesting vibes of what the series is going to be about. So after you've watched that, welcome back from your little intermission break. So I can't give too much away with Bloodborne just yet. But I will say it is something new to the table, and it has enemies to lovers in it, and there's betrayal, and there's war, and it's just going to be a very exciting series. And so then he also asked, what's the best music source for your projects? I had lots of issues with YouTube removing sounds before. Good question. I've never run into the issue of like taking away like music from my work, like my uploads and stuff. But YouTube Audio Library has some good stuff, and there's a lot of channels here on YouTube that do like copyright free and royalty free music that they have some pretty good stuff. So these next few questions are from Amy Wolf or Lucan. Go fucking watch Sanctuary right now. Lucan's project, series completed project. Let me complete it, okay? Go watch it. Like, literally, what are you doing? It's so good. Also, go watch Megan's series Necrosis. It's so good. It's a really nice series to just sit and like binge and like all in one sitting. Because they are also another filmmaker in this community, so go check out their stuff, okay? Okay, so Lucan asked these questions here. Any series / thing you want to see more of in the community? I don't know. I think just like unconventional things that we haven't seen before would really bring things to a new level. I think that would be really interesting to see. I think maybe dabbling into maybe more, I think like maybe some more, a little bit of like experimental film work would be really interesting. I'd love to see more like bold uses of color. I know that's something I'm putting in with Bloodborne, and I know from the Vengeance Rain trailer there's like a lot of like really good use of color in that. And then Necrosis has some really nice color values in its series as well. Okay, so the next question Lucan asked was, what's been the best thing for your creative process working on Bloodborne? So easily the best thing for my creative process has been creating episode summaries. So when I was doing the pre-production stuff that I'm still doing for Bloodborne, when I wrote out like my entire like series thing, like the entire plot, beginning, middle, end, and then from there I started writing episode summaries. So like episode 1, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, literally on like an index card, and I wrote what I want to happen. And I did that for all of the episodes for season 1 and season 2, just so I know like what I need to include in the episodes, and so when it comes to actually writing the episodes, I don't feel like I'm walking around with a blindfold on, essentially. So that's been really helpful so far. Okay, so bwl.productions on Instagram. Hello bestie. Please go subscribe to my friend. Please go subscribe to bestie. She asked, what's some advice you can give for anyone wanting to start a model horse production but don't know where to start? Dude, turn on some like good music and just like listen to that and let the ideas come. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I get some of my ideas, is like from that, or from books I read, and just like going from there. And like, don't stress. Do not stress. Don't stress that you need this fancy camera or this huge elaborate like costumes or lighting or sets. You don't need like to spend so much money into your model horse series. You can if you want to, but it's not needed whatsoever. Take a look at Sanctuary by my friend Lucan. They worked with the materials they already had around them, and they created an impactful and super powerful story. Megan with Necrosis. More like elaborate costumes and sets, and still pulling off a successful story, and a really good, impactful one too. Your focus for your series should be your story and the message you're trying to get across. Not on, oh my gosh, I have to have this super fancy set and these super fancy costumes. They are helpful in terms of progressing the story along and telling your story more through different elements, but you don't need them. You do not need them at all, okay? So that is my best advice. And then she also asked, do you ever try to write your characters with some of your own personality traits, or are they all their own individual personas? So here's the deal with this question. I I will say that the main character, she is me. She is me. She is me. A lot of my characters have bits and pieces of me in them, because I just think it makes the writing process like so much more fun. Okay, so then Oak.Briars asks these next few questions. They ask holiest grail, gold raven and ethereal water. Fly. And then they also ask, if you want to design your own briar, what would you choose? Okay, either the It's Just a Dream mold or the Marwari mold. I want a really dark dapple gray with like a lot of dapples and a really dark mane and tail. You can either do dark gray or you can do black to add some fun to that. But I think dark gray is the way to go for that. And like blue eyes, both eyes blue, but not your shitty quality blue eyes. Nice, okay? So do extra research for the blue eyes. Really nice, like light blue, blue eyes. And then it's Dragon asked, favorite regular run that's gonna be released this year. This dude, this guy right here. I don't know if he was released in either 2022. I think he was released in 2022. But this dude. This guy. So analogs_horses asks, what's your dream Briar Fest? Theme, models, color, etc. I think maybe like a magic or like fantasy theme would be really cool. I don't know if we've done one already, but I feel like that would be super cool with like maybe like a decorator horse could be like this really pretty like light pastel green with like flowers and little fairies on it, but like not like animated fairies, like the fairies you see in those really nice like paintings, like the ethereal-esque vibes in paintings. Okay, so those were all of the questions I received. Thank you so much for everybody who asked me questions. All of my friends' channels will be tagged and in the description below, so please, 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 please go check them out, go support my friends, go watch their videos, because if you are going to support one model horse filmmaker in this community, you better fucking support all of us in this community, because that's how this works. So without further ado, and roll the character reveal for Bloodborne. I am Cypress Savoy, and I will not bend to your rules any longer. So we bare our teeth and sharpen our claws. We will not go down without a fight. You will never outrun me no matter how hard you try. I'm tired of broken promises and sweet nothings being whispered into my ear. Tell me the fucking truth. Don't you get it? His influence has poisoned your mind and you are too blind to see it. Have you always looked this carvable prince? I am what you made me. I am the monster that creeps in the dark. Anyone who hurts you will die screaming. So all of you have now met my baby, Cypress. I will see you all in my next video. Bye! Oh, okay, yeah, my camera's too far away for me to do that successfully, so we're leaving it at that. Oh my gosh, this lighting was like the best lighting ever. Would you guys agree? Look how sexy and dreamy my lighting is. Are you jealous? You better be jealous because it's so sexy. How does he look?